Hello everybody, I'm Oscar W. Fitchett.
I know you are.
How many videos has it been, Oscar? It's been like 1,000 videos. No, not 1,000. A fair few videos, and everybody still doesn't know your name.
Hello everybody, I'm Oscar W. Fitchett.
Man, Bradshaw.
And that's the last. And now we are here to... So, it's now that time of year to count down our top 10 favourite films of the year. This year we're doing is 2017. For the UK films, I preface this every year, I'm doing it anyway, just in case we've got more new viewers, but since we live in the United Kingdom, we cannot get certain films at the same time as Americans. So, that is why films such as like Lady Bird, Darkest Hour, Coco. Yeah, we didn't get a Coco. I, Tonya, etc., etc. We won't be talking about them this year. We might be talking about them next year. And if you're wondering, like, where films such as La La Land, Moonlight, Manchester by the Sea, etc., etc. were last year, they might be on this list because we got them like January, February time. So that's the gist of here. So calm down. That's how we're doing the list.
Calm your britches.
Right. This year was a very difficult year to make a list, and I will say that now, because usually throughout the entire year I have a definite number one. This time I wasn't sure what my number one was until yesterday. So, like, that's where it was. So, kicking things off with my number 10, my 10th favourite film of 2017 is It. This one is the adaptation of Stephen King's novel, and in my opinion it's the best.
It's one thick book.
It's one thick book, and in my opinion it's the best Stephen King adaptation of the 4 that came out this year. I only seen 2, but the 2 that I've seen, I prefer this over Gerald's Game. Gerald's Game's still good.
I actually really enjoyed Gerald's Game too.
But It is the better one, I think. It's a really good horror film in like the practical effects sense. It's a beautiful like makeup and everything. But I also love the fact this is a pretty fantastic coming of age story as well. It's like it's got great, like, I always compare the Stand By Me meets It. like the TV series It meets Stand By Me. And I think the main highlight all the performances were really good, but I think the main highlight for this film for me was Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, like easy, like one of the best villains of the year, and just a fantastic performance. A performance that could have been really goofy and silly, but I think it was really cool and creepy.
My number 10 was probably surprise. I think you already might know this one. I think we were talking about it last night and you were kind of like, oh, I think I know which one's going to be, which animated film's going to be in your list. And my number 10 is Loving Vincent.
Yeah.
We went to see that. It was out, and it was out for a while. And we just didn't get around to seeing it.
It was gone.
It just seemed to be on, and then it wasn't. And
then it came back on again?
Well, we didn't think we were going to see it, did we? And then we were in Newcastle, and it just happened to be that they were showing it once. I thought it was really well made. I loved the animation. I think the acting was really good. There's some really good people in it. There was like a few people who was Chris O'Dowd. I didn't realise Chris O'Dowd was in it, and I am a fan of Chris O'Dowd, so that was like, oh. And I love, I like the story. I like that it's
interesting, yeah.
It's not just sort of chronicling his life,
it's chronicling, like, after his life.
So it's interesting to see that after, because you hear a lot about, oh, he cut off his ear, he did this, he did that, but it's like interesting to see the sort of aftermath and stuff. Definitely. And it was quite nice to see the progression with the main character, where he kind of went from thinking, no, he's just mental, to like
actually giving a shit
to being like, oh my god, we were awful.
That didn't make my list, but it is. I will admit it. Like, the animation is absolutely stunning, and the story. It's not a film just to watch for the animation. It is like the story does hold up within itself as well.
Obviously, used to put films I have not seen. I'm going to put something out that you haven't seen.
Oh.
It's inevitable. It was inevitable.
Yeah.
Because you've got films on there I haven't.
Well, I think we've watched over 50 films this year.
Well, number 10. It's Period today.
Oh, you.
I didn't say it would be a number 10, but I did say it would probably be
Patriots Day. Don't you mean American Patriots?
American Patriots, yeah. What can I say about Patriots?
I don't know. What can you say about Patriots Day?
Well, it's about the Boston Marathon bombings in 2013 or 2014. I think it's 14.
14 sounds right.
It's got Mark Wahlberg in it and Kevin Bacon.
Isn't JK in it?
Jaco.
Simmons?
No.
Patriots Day, IMDb.
Here's Patriots Day.
Yeah, he is, isn't it?
Yeah, J.K. Simmons is in it. He's on the bloody thumbnail you made.
Alright. It's the same people who made
Lone Survivor.
Lone Survivor.
Deepwater Horizon.
Deepwater Horizon.
You're number 2 from last
I
year.
know, number 2 in Patriots Day is
10.
yeah.
It's your 10.
I like this film because it's got good cinematography, good soundtrack, got police in it.
Is that a theme through this list, by the way?
No,
Okay.
definitely not. It's,
So no Bright.
I'm not saying anything.
Never mind.
I'm not saying anything.
My number 9 is a film that I kept switching between that and my number 8, but then I went from my number 8 because I was like, I'd rather watch my number 8 a bit more. But my number 9 is a film by Nacho Vigalondo, and it's Colossal. This film intrigued me from when I started watching the trailer in the cinema. I was like, oh, Anne Hathaway, oh, Dan Stevens, who else was it? Jason Sudeikis. I was like, oh, it's just going to be a normal rom-com, and then I saw something like a guy, not Gaijin, what's it?
Amuto from
I
Godzilla.
just
Are you
saw
talking
some-
about things from Pacific Rim?
Yeah, something like that. I just saw some Godzilla-y thing. I went, oh, interesting, I'll stop watching it. And I thought, like, the main spoiler was going to be, like, it was a rom-com, just generic-y thing, turned just monster film. It goes from thinking it's just kind of like a normal rom-com-y thing to, like, this monster movie thing to something else entirely. I'm not going to say anything, because that will be I think it's good not knowing anything about it. And you got Anne Hathaway, who I think gives the best performance maybe ever from her. Not ever out of every performance ever, but like maybe her
The
best
one you've
performance.
enjoyed the most.
It might be, in my opinion, her best performance. It's better than Les Mis, and I think it might be better than her performance as Catwoman in Dark Knight Rises. That's a completely different ball game. This is definitely her best performance, I think. And then you get Jason Sudeikis, who totally shows a completely different side of him that I never would have thought, like, I would see from him. Again, not going to say too much, because again, I think that'll be too much of a spoiler. He shows a completely different side of him. In the same way Mark Duplass shows in the Creep films, it's the same way with that, I guess, in a sense of being like, you wouldn't expect Jason Sudeikis to give that performance, and then he does, and now you just completely have all sorts of different fan castings for the guy. It's one of the most unique films that managed to like have like a cool like story behind it, as well as a really real story, and that's why Colossal is my number 9.
My number 9 is something that probably would have been higher on the list, but I haven't seen it since it was in the cinema, and I think I need to give it another rewatch.
I think I know.
I knew it was definitely on the list, but it's been a very long time, like I say, since we watched it, and I didn't want to rate it too highly when I can't really remember everything about it. I remember loving it when we saw it, and it's Personal Shopper.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I really liked it. Like I said, it probably would have been higher on my list. I kind of felt like I was going to like it going into it, just from what little I'd actually heard about it, and I kind of got more of an appreciation for Kristen Stewart recently, because she does like actually interesting roles, and more sort of, because obviously everyone always goes, oh, the Twilight girl, and you're like, no, but I obviously, I didn't know her from Twilight, I knew her from Panichrome. I didn't know what to expect when I saw it, and like I said, you can't really talk about it too much without
No, without giving some spoilers.
I felt like it was better going in blind to it, really.
Definitely, yeah.
I don't think it's going to be everyone's cup of tea. I
don't think Gary would like it.
Oh no, definitely not. I think because it's like two totally different. It's like one film that's two films.
Yeah.
In terms of plot, like there's two plots going on.
No, yeah, there is. Yeah.
You sort of stay with Kristen Stewart throughout the entire thing. You don't really go anywhere else, but you've got two aspects of her life that you're watching.
Yeah, it's a fascinating film. Definitely, it's an artsy film without being art house.
My number 9. I know this one. Weird.
I thought you were going to say, I know this one. It's like,
I'm
sure you do.
My number 9. It's The Disasterized.
You're tearing me apart, Gary.
That's definitely number 9. It's definitely a big hard call to make on that, because I like the film. I wish it could be higher, but there's other films there in the way of that. Great experience though, seeing it, because we went to go see it at the cinema.
We saw a back-to-back thing. We saw The Disaster Artist, then The Room.
Yeah, which is
So-
a pretty cool experience.
Yeah.
Never been to a thing like that before. Jim Franco is
Tommy was there.
Tom Wiseau. Lots of funny moments as well.
Yeah.
Tons of funny moments. Probably the most funniest film I've seen, like in recent times, recent years.
My number 8 is something that I kind of have to have on this list, and it's a film by Bong Joon-ho, and it's Okja. It's a Netflix exclusive film, and it's a film that some people might say it's vegan preachy. I don't see that at all. It spreads the vegan message well, but I don't see it as a preachy film by any means. Bong Joon-ho has quickly become like one of my favourite directors. He also directed Memories of a Murder, which is a fantastic
That's one of my favourite films.
It's absolutely it's really good. And he did another one. I know he did The Host, which I haven't seen. Snowpiercer. He did Snowpiercer, which is excellent as well. But this one, it's like a live action anime, isn't it? But like the best type of one. Like it's like you got like the cute little with the cute big animal thing that would totally make an awesome plushie out of Okja. You got like the little child in there, the little girl who just wants to help Okja out.
Really sort of.
You got amazing Jake Gyllenhaal in it. You got great Tilda Swinton performance. You got just sensational Gyllenhaal performance who would fit right in like a DBZ thing. I'm like, I can't believe this. When it's funny, it's funny, and when it's emotional, oh god, it gut punches you. And it's a very good film on Netflix. Check it out. Very good. My number 8 is Okja.
Right, my number 8 is a film that I watched relatively recently. Not too recently, relatively. It's a Netflix movie.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm the only one who's seen this one.
Okay.
And it's a film, I don't think, it's on my list. But I don't think it's one of the best made films of the year. It's not necessarily the most, like, shocking or, like, wow storyline, but it just really made me very happy watching it. And it was The Incredible Jessica James. And it's sort of a film about, to some extent, I guess it's like a bit of a rom-com, but in the same token, it's kind of like about your passions and sort of never giving up on them and things like that, which is something I really liked. The actress, excuse me, but I can't remember her name. She was fantastic. I haven't seen her in anything prior to this. Again, Chris O'Dowd was in this one as well, so he was really good. And the basic gist, for without sort of giving too much away, it's sort of, again, two sort of storylines, but they interlock together. And Jessica James is a playwright, and she's been very unsuccessful so far. She sends sort of her plays off, and just they keep coming back with rejection letters. And she teaches a young group of kids, like theatre class, basically. Like, it's like a project set up, and she's sort of in charge of it, and that's like, she puts all of her passion into that because she wants them to do well.
Yeah. And
then intersecting with that one, she just recently broke up with her boyfriend, and her friend sets her up kind of sort of on a bit of a blind, not quite a blind date, but a bit of a blind date with Chris O'Dowd, who's a lot older than her and has just been recently divorced.
Right.
And they kind of start dating, but they're like, oh yeah, this isn't anything, we're just meeting up, and like there's like a thing where it's kind of like they're like, oh, I can't unfollow my ex on Instagram because I keep checking all the time to see what they're doing. She's like, well, how about I follow your ex and you follow mine and we'll report back to each other. No, it was really enjoyable. It just made me really happy to watch. It's like good fun, it's quite light-hearted. There's like the serious moments, but they never get quite like really sort of to the point where it's like depressing.
Yeah.
Sort of, it really detracts.
My number 8. My number 8 is Eddie. Dunkirk.
Oh, I thought that would have been a little bit higher for you, but
Really?
I did expect it to be in your top 10.
I've literally, it was my 10th.
And then you moved up a bit, did you?
Yeah, moved it a bit.
Go on then, explain why you're
Don't know how to
why
get
Dunkirk's your 8th favourite film of the year.
because it's a war film, and I like war films. It's Christopher Nolan. I like Christopher Nolan.
So do I.
I love Casino.
I love Casino.
I think it gets better on repeat viewings. If you watch it that many times, you could just put it on as a background movie, which I've done.
Nice, okay.
And it's beautiful on Blu-ray.
I think that the problem being, it doesn't hold. I know what you're saying about putting it on the background, but it just doesn't hold my attention enough for me to want to watch it again.
I know.
There's a few choice scenes that I enjoyed, but
yeah, there's certain standout scenes definitely in there.
I kind of would feel like I was watching, no disrespect, but at points I'd it, when you're saying in the background, it's well, you may as well just have a screensaver on.
Right.
No, I think it's very well made. I'm not.
Oh, it's very well made.
It's very well made. Cinematography's gorgeous. Everyone obviously put a lot of effort in. It's really historically accurate.
Hans.
I just think.
Good score.
Had a better score this year.
Yeah, good music. I just think it sort of might have served better in more of a documentary style than a.
I think. Well, my little thing is I think Dunkirk would have been a bit better if it was done in the style of another film that's on my list that I will get to.
Okay, we'll hold that thought.
The full practical aspect of those pretty pretty top. I've been looking at the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's just, oh my god, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing how they're doing that.
My number 7 is my favourite horror film of this year. And that's saying something considering this is a year chock full of very good horror films.
Oh yeah.
That we've had a lot of very good ones. But my 7th favourite film of the year, my favourite horror film of the year is by my favourite production company right now, being A24, and that is It Comes at Night is my 7th favourite film of the year. This is a film that people are going to be like, it's not a horror film, it wasn't scary. I don't know which film you're watching, but bloody hell, there was a few scenes in there that were just absolutely skin crawling. Probably a lot of people they didn't even show it. It's it's not the point, you muppets.
Well, I will say, you've just while I think on, because you've just said there about people you don't even get to see it. It's well, there's nothing to see. There's a disease, and
it's very Last of Us, the whole film. It's very
sort of all it says is a disease.
You might enjoy it.
I kind of interpreted it being the person's nightmares.
But this film, I think, is just chock full of atmosphere. There's moments the tension just builds and builds and builds, and when something just happens, it's just I get chills. I got chills watching this film. Yeah, I love it. I thought Creep 2 was absolutely superb. I thought that was fantastic. I like Get Out, Split, Gerald's Game. There was a lot of fantastic horror films this year, but in terms of the type of horror film that just made me feel the most, it was It Comes at Night, and that is why It Comes at Night is my 7th favourite film of the year.
I think the thing being as well with it is because it's I think people if people are expecting a monster movie and then they get given a psychological
I think
horror.
Trailers for A24 films are pretty shit. So just don't watch an A24 trailer.
Oh, just don't watch trailers.
Just don't watch trailers.
My number 7 is, again, a lot lower than I thought it would be, but saw it early in the year and I've seen a lot since. And again, need to rewatch it. But my number 7 is Moonlight.
Nice.
I really enjoyed this film. We went into it wasn't actually a sort of your standard cinema screening, it was a
gallery. It was
a gallery screening, and it was sort of this little room, and it wasn't very big at all.
It was 4 or 5 rows.
Oh yeah, 4 or 5 rows, and we saw it with a small audience. And I just remember, when we came out, I don't think anyone spoke.
No.
No one spoke. Everyone just watched it.
In the best way. It's not
it's
not like we all walked out fantastic.
It was almost as if everyone was coming out thinking about it. I think.
Yeah.
And I loved every performance in it, I think. 3 different acts, 3 different stories, all the same person, but the 3 actors encompassed...
Same character.
The fact they had 3 actors playing that one character, and they flowed so well, and you literally would have thought it was the same person.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I love the plot, I love the way they relate, they explored relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I love that it kind of got dark without being too angsty.
It got real.
It was just real. Yeah. There was no bullshit.
No.
That's what I'll say. Beautiful cinematography, beautiful acting, beautiful soundtrack and score.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fault it. I can't say anything really bad about it.
Gary, is your number 7?
Excuse
Did
me.
you just throw up in your mouth?
No. My number 7, John Wick 2.
Hey, John Chapter 2.
Hey. Keanu, my boy.
Keanu. Whoa.
Did you say Keanu?
Keanu Reeves, yeah.
Keanu? Not Keanu. There's no O in it.
Yeah, John Wick Chapter 2. Yeah, very good film. Very good film.
Was he your 7th?
I don't know, 7.
Was it in your list?
I don't know. I'd rather watch it than the other films. I like action movies. Good car chase scene.
Yeah.
Good cinematography, good soundtrack. Bloody good cinematography, actually. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Right on. Sean to the point.
Yeah.
Now we're on to number 6, which is the final film we're going to be talking about for this part, because these videos usually do go on for pretty damn long, so we're splitting it up to 2 parts. And my 6th film is a documentary. And not only is it a documentary, but it's my favourite animated film of the year.
I know what this
you
is.
know it. It's Tower. I praise this film on a heel. We both praise this film on a heel cast.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the film I was on about. Like, if Dunkirk was done in this, I think it would be a much better film if it was done in this style of documentary. Like, it was a documentary, but we still were able to see what happened. It's a documentary about the 1966 University of Texas college shooting. And it's done in Romascope animation, and they interview the people who were there, and they kind of animate over them, and they get actors to read what they said.
Sort of similar to Love and Vincent, really.
Kind of, yeah.
Similar sort of thing.
But I have never been so tense when watching a documentary in my life. I've never been so enthralled watching a documentary. I didn't even know what exactly this was about. Going into it, I actually thought it was about Columbine. Oddly enough, I don't know why, but about a shooting that.
Similar topic, really.
Yeah, it was the first like major like school shooting.
Yeah.
In America, and in '66 it was bloody unheard of, really.
Well, yeah, the people being interviewed said like this was not a thing. Like, you never heard of this.
And what I also really loved about the making of the film was like they got actual experts of audio used from interviews at the time and got that audio and animated over it, and I don't know, there's just something
about... If there was anyone who was still alive, they interviewed them.
Yeah, that was the thing, yeah. But it's like they interview the important people, like they interviewed a girl who was shot and laying there for like the whole thing. But they also just interviewed someone who just watched everything happen. Like, they didn't leave any one specific person out. You
saw every perspective. You saw the perspective of the people caught up in it.
Yeah.
The people who were helping.
Yeah.
Law enforcement.
Radio journalists.
News and just journalists in general, like the media. And you also had the perspective of like people who were involved in it. But there was a girl, I think, who got interviewed who she was obviously involved because she was there and she was in the school at the time.
But nothing really happened.
She chose not to do anything, and it was sort of from her perspective of regretting not.
Yeah. And again, like, I've never been this enthralled watching a documentary. My heart was just racing towards the end of it, and it was so informative and everything, and it was just like, it's emotional, and it's a bit of a tearjerker, I think, but it's more of like a thing of like, you feel like you've been through so much just watching this happen, and what makes this, and what separates this documentary apart from the rest is like, it puts you there of when it was happening as opposed to like, this is a thing that happened.
My number 6 is Atomic Blonde.
Oh really? I didn't think this would be within your list, actually.
Oh, absolutely! I love this film. I love the style. I love Charlize Theron anywhere, but I loved the acting. I love the cinematography, everything, score, everything about it. I love it. I love the
Sweet Dreams of
Well, I love Eurythmics anyway. Cool, unconventional plot pieces. The ending made me a bit like, ha.
Yeah.
That amused me. Probably one of the favourite sex scenes in a film.
Oh, definitely.
For sure.
No, definitely.
Yeah, just really good.
Gary, you're the one who's talking about your film. Like, this is the final film for this list, for the video, for now. What's your number 6?
I've watched this recently.
Have you?
That was a bit of a seductive choice.
Blade Runner, 1949.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
2049. It doesn't take place in the 40s.
2049. Jesus. Imagine that. Oh, that'd be
You
quite
fool.
cool. That'd be quite cool in the next film.
It wouldn't be Blade Runner, it would just be a noir.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would just be like.
It would just be a film noir. It wouldn't- Just watch a film noir, Gary.
Yeah, I like this film.
Blade Runner 2049. Who directed it?
Denis Villeneuve.
There you go. He's a frequent guy within our list, isn't he? So, like, at least with one of our lists, isn't he?
Yeah.
His all star with Prisoners, and he just snowballed from that.
Yeah, I love this film. I like Blade Runner. The original Blade Runner.
Yeah, I know what
I'm not a big fan of Blade Runner because it's just too damn slow. It's just far too slow for it.
Yeah.
But I like the full concept behind it, like
Androids and
The world
androids
building
and
and everything.
the world, like the world around us.
yeah.
And I like that sort of style because synthwave and stuff like that's very synthwavey.
The Outrun style is like
Yeah, the
as
Outrun
some
style,
people
yeah.
have like labelled that like
Definitely.
aesthetic as the Outrun style.
Yeah. Like all the flying cars and all the colours and that.
Was like the soundtrack and stuff. Yeah.
Soundtrack, a lot of synths in there. Hans Zimmer and
Yeah, Hans Zimmer.
Benjamin, I forgot his second name. Apparently the best pals.
Nice one.
And he didn't really want to do the soundtrack, to be honest.
Hans Zimmer?
Yeah, he was about to go on tour and
Wasn't it meant to be Johan Johansson? And then he like.
I think, yeah. I remember
Possibly.
reading that.
Yeah, it was meant to be Johan
Shit.
Johansson, and then it became like Hans Zimmer.
yeah.
What I think was really interesting, just on the topic of that, what you're saying, they kind of managed to get, because obviously Vangelis is really, there's nothing like,
No, you can't get another.
You can't
Vangelis,
compare.
no.
but I think Hans Zimmer managed to capture the same feeling
Essence.
and essence of it without outright copying.
He did a Hans Zimmer score. He did a Blade Runner score. Like Hans Zimmer did a Blade Runner score. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Like that. Like that's what you.
And I
get.
love some of the, especially I love some of the early ones, but especially some of the later tracks. I think in the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I think there's the. I forgot what the track's called, but it's the point where they're at the big wall of water.
Oh, Seawall. it's called.
Seawall. Yeah, I absolutely love that one.
Yeah, it's good. That scene in the concert hall. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but that scene in the concert hall, that was pretty
Yeah.
pretty good. The music and all that playing.
It feels very Bioshocky, doesn't it? The
I felt that,
first
yeah.
Bioshock.
I got that.
Yeah.
And the full story as well, like between. Obviously, you've seen the trailer. Harrison Ford's character.
Well, everyone knows Harrison Ford.
Everyone knew Harrison Ford was in it. Yeah, I mean, he's on the poster, so.
Yeah, and the full like premise is. I'm not going to spoil it too much, because like.
But no, the whole gist of it all. Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's a fascinating.
You got like two stories in one.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you do. Yeah.
It sort of ties up loose ends, I think.
We cannot move on and not talk about how much of a beast Roger Deakins is as a cinematographer.
Roger Deakins, I think, in my eyes, I think he's one of the best cinematographers in the world.
It's him and Emmanuel Lubezki.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like those two.
They're
Like,
they're my top
they're the
favourites.
best.
And do you know what? And how Has and Roger Deakins won an Oscar.
I would like him to win it for this one.
I would like
wouldn't-
it.
So, guys, that is part 1 of our top 10 favourite films of
It is.
2017. Tune in to part 2 where we will be going down our top 5 films. Should be fun. Gonna have a good old fun time.
It's always fun at the start.
We usually get a bit more crazy in the second part,
Yeah,
don't
we normally do,
we were a bit calmer last year, but there was still a bit of wildness to it. That's what. No, that was
Darlow Job Centre.
Darlow Job Centre. That's where it all began. All began. Darlow Job Centre. So, guys, thank you for watching. Until next time, till the next video, we shall see you later. And bye.
Can we have a quick 5-minute break
Yeah.
for drinks and biscuits?
Yeah.